Hey everybody. Today's Tuesday, August 3rd. Can't believe we've punched into August. And over the weekend, I was in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin. Attended the 2021 CrossFit Games. It was so cool to actually see, after all the lockdown, the pandemic, just a live, in-person competition with real people hanging out on planet Earth, having a good time, high-fiving people, laughing. It was invigorating. It was good for my soul. And if anybody's made it this year, I'm sure you had a blast. If it's been on your to-do list and you're on the fence as to whether or not you should attend the CrossFit Games, if it's worth it, it's a blast. It's a 100% blast. It's all CrossFit all the time, surrounded by, even if you don't know the people, people that are just as crazy as you with how you work out and how you eat and the whole nine yards. You will be surrounded by people who understand you. So I think you'll have a blast. So if you can get out there next year, I wholeheartedly encourage you to do that. So here's my quick little just recap, games and some other stuff. So as most people know, because we've got a now 5-week-old little girl in the house. It was a very quick trip for me, like profoundly quick. I don't know if you can hear screaming in the backyard, but if you can, we've got a bunch of boys over playing basketball in the front yard, and they're screaming and loud as boys are. So that's what that is. Nobody's getting tortured. Somebody's playing basketball. Uh, the only full day that I was on the ground for the games was Saturday. I was there all day. So I caught a red eye on Friday night, landed in Madison at like 11:30 p.m., got to my hotel at about 12:30 a.m. on Saturday, spent Saturday there, Sunday morning flew out at 06:30 in the morning. So it was a blur, but I was there Saturday and it was an absolute blast. And I got to not only watch a bunch of the competition, meet some fantastic people, but I had the pleasure and honor. I was asked to be part of a CrossFit Health and Chronic Disease panel that took place at 1 p.m. on Saturday. That was recorded, and that footage will eventually be available through CrossFit.com. I'm not exactly sure when, but once I see it, I'll let you know because it was a great discussion. We'll get to that in a second. And I got to see just some good old people, Tommy and Sean from Talking Elite Fitness, bumped into those individuals. Got to see members of the Linchpin community in real life. Was absolutely awesome and fantastic to meet people that I'd just gotten to know through, you know, social media and through the private Facebook group, and then actually get to see them in real life. We sat down, we talked, snapped a bunch of photos. It was super cool. It was invigorating. It's just what I needed, and hopefully that will just continue to happen year after year. So that's that. So I was out of it. Well, not out of it, but I had followed the games less precisely this year than ever before. And partly because since I didn't have to talk about them as an analyst, I didn't have to be, so immersed in what was going on. And then, having a baby and whatnot, it just, time is precious. And so when I landed on Friday night, got there Saturday morning, got through security, finally walked in. There was some long event going on where the athletes were like running and doing toes to bar. And they had some of the run course kind of sectioned off, and I saw Samantha Briggs run by, and she was in the lead, and it just warmed my heart. It's like, okay, everything's right in the world. Samantha Briggs leading a run, incredible. But I had to ask somebody in the crowd because I was so out of touch. It's like, hey, I knew obviously the Tia Claire Toomey would be winning no matter what. But for the men's side, I was like, hey, who's winning? And somebody said, Justin Medeiros. And I was like, oh, no kidding. Like, that's really cool. So that was my level of engagement with the games. I didn't know a bunch of the events, didn't know everything. I was kind of learning as I went. Now, reflecting, a lot of good events at the games, a lot of great competition, but there's two events that went down that I really liked. I really liked watching them, seeing them. I really liked them 100%. And that was Event number 3, which was nothing fancy, not a barbell in sight. It was just as fast as you can, a 550-yard sprint, just a foot race. How bad do you want it? Legs and lungs on fire, pure intensity, pure heart. Who has been showing up for the track days? Who's been blowing off the track days? Loved it. Loved that event. It just is awesome. And then the other one, again, there's a lot of great ones, but there was two that just had me. The second one was event number 9. Just a simple couplet, innocent little couplet, not crazy loading. And again, all that is an opportunity to express intensity and see who wants it. And that was event number 9 was 21:15:9 of calories on the Echo bike, and then a power snatch, 105 pounds for men, 75 pounds for women. That's right, games athletes, power snatching, only 105 pounds for men and 95 pounds for women, because when you don't load somebody down with a heavy barbell, you don't give them an opportunity to slow down and a reason to slow down, and they have to stomp the gas. Now, obviously, they broke out heavy barbells. Obviously, they're trying to test all the time domains, all the loads, all the, got it. But that was a really cool event, just to see some people press the gas pedal down as far as they possibly could. Beautiful workout. Absolutely loved it. I think Brent Fakowski won that. I think Chandler Smith had the best time on that in the first heat, and then Brent Fakowski took it from him in the second heat, doing all that work in like 3 minutes and 30 seconds or something, which is just astounding. So that was cool. And now looking back on just the leaderboard, top 3 men and top 3 women, for the men, Justin Medeiros took it home. How crazy is that? Super impressed with that kid. I hope he has a very bright future. I've never actually met him in person. Spoken to him over the phone. He was kind, gracious, and humble. This was last year that I spoke to him. And just watching him compete, if how he carries himself and the enthusiasm that he has is genuine and that's who he is, I'm a fan. Fantastic. Awesome. Kid's great. And he just competes. He's fun to watch. And he just competes like he is a little bit fearless, which is a lot of fun to watch. Pat Vellner in second place. Pat Vellner is amazing, an amazing athlete. And he fought back to second, once again doing exactly what he didn't want to do, right? Like he didn't want to have another year where he made things difficult for himself. The games are hard enough without making them harder. You don't want to just punt one into the stands, have a super bad event that you have to battle back from. You don't want to do that against the fittest people in the earth because they're not going to want to give up a lot of points. Vellner, I got the leaderboard open right now. Let's see, scroll this way. Event number 1, 35th place. 35th place. Probably got like a point and a half for that. But somehow, Vellner is so good, so fit, and so mentally tough to not let that rattle him. He scrapped and battled all the way back into second place. And had he not had that bad event, no, bad event, I know he did it, I get it, but it potentially could have been even closer between him and Medeiros. So the cool thing is, if Vellner doesn't have an event like that next year, and Medeiros keeps up with his training, and Vellner keeps up with his training, we might have a really cool battle from the get-go next year. And then Brent Fakowski on the podium. Brent Fakowski, the savior of the tall CrossFitter. Every CrossFitter who's 6 feet tall or over wants Brent Fakowski to do well. They want a tall CrossFitter to be just super fit. Well, Brent Fakowski is the answer to your prayers. Guy's fantastic. He can do anything. And yeah, 2 out of 3 spots on the podium. Canada bringing it home. So BKG, as always, in a sneaky 4th place. The guy's so good. And in 7th, apologies if I don't say the name properly, Mel Harris, guy from Brazil. that dude is legit. He's fun to watch. He's fired up, and he is legit. He is going to do his best to bring South America onto the map in the game scene, and he's doing it already in great fashion. On the women's side of the house, I mean, Tia Claire Toomey is just, she's a space alien. She's just preposterous and ridiculous and just is so good at absolutely everything. It's amazing to watch her do what she can do, but I mean, nobody's still close. I mean, she has first place with over 1,400 points. There was only, what, 1,500 that you could have, there's 15 events, right? So if you get first place on every single event, you've got 100 points for every event. So mathematically, the most you could have got was 1,500 points. She got 1,435 points. That is stupid. That's crazy. Laura Horvath did amazing. Second place, 1,179 points. So not quite 300 points behind her. I'm not doing the math in my head, but 250 points or something like that. It's a lot of points. It's just absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But what makes me so happy, and I mentioned this when we did on Saturday night, I got invited by Tommy and Sean to be on a episode of Talking Elite Fitness, and we chatted about this. And if you haven't, you should go to the Talking Elite Fitness page and listen to that show. It was a super fun show with myself, Tommy, Sean, and then Rory McKernan was on there as well. And we just chatted like old times for about an hour, had a ton of laughs. So I would check that out. But on that show, we mentioned how impressive I thought Annie Thorisdottir was. And I know that this is fresh in my mind from just watching my wife recently go through pregnancy and how demanding is not even the right word to say on the human body. But whatever's the proper word, women go through something just rugged with pregnancy, what happens to their body, and then what they have to come back from. And just to come back to normal life is tough and an uphill battle and all of that stuff. And Annie Thorisdottir, from what I believe from social media and whatnot, did not have an easy pregnancy. It was ballpark a year ago or something. I'm probably getting my timeline off a little bit. But to go from that to now not only like kind of getting back in shape, it's nice to be back in the swing and things, she's on the podium at the CrossFit Games like a year after giving birth. She's the third fittest woman in the world. She is mind-blowing good. She's incredible. She's fantastic. So Annie Thorisdottir, you have, already I was a fan, but you have the utmost respect for me for what you pulled off this year. And if you watch her compete in like the snatch event, I mean, she was fun to watch all competition long. So Thorisdottir, 2 thumbs up. And we could just go down and down and down about the list of incredible women. I mean, you've got Holta, Adams, Magal. I mean, Mallory O'Brien is in 7th. Are you kidding me? I mean, the list goes on and on. So it was a great competition. Again, if you get the opportunity and you're on the fence, go to the CrossFit Games. You won't be upset. And like I said, the other thing which I was honored to get to be a part of was that chronic disease panel that took place on Saturday. Julie Fouché kind of hosted and officiated that, which was great. Then there was 2 doctors on the panel as well, Nick and Tom, and then basically a woman who was a success story of CrossFit, which was Athena Perez, and she's lost several hundred pounds and just reversing chronic disease, and it was a fantastic story to hear her. But it was interesting. Okay, so it was interesting. One of the most common questions that I get just in general, and I got it frequently at the games too, and I just bumped into random people, is, am I going to start training CrossFit Games athletes? Start getting into the competitive side of the house as well. I get a fair amount of emails from people asking for that. Will you train me? I get asked that a bunch at the games. Like, hey, is Linchpin going to have you're going to start doing competitive stuff as well to get people to the games? Honored, always honored to even be asked that. But from watching the games again this year and then participating in the chronic disease panel, which is just all about Long-term health and fitness is what we were discussing. Getting your health markers in the right direction, body feeling good head to toe, being so physically capable and ready to do anything that you want on planet Earth, to be able to say yes to things. You can do all of that by just eating well and doing one workout a day in the garage. That gets you so far, right? That all my time watching the games and participating in that chronic disease panel, it just re-solidified my answer that as much as I appreciate it, will I start training athletes for the CrossFit Games? The answer is no. I have no plans to do that at this point in time. Will that change in the future? I don't know, maybe, but I can tell you right now, the answer is a no. Everything that I did, saw, talked with, people I interacted with, witnessed, it just re-cemented what I absolutely love to do and am most passionate about in this entire world, and that is just real fitness for real people with busy lives. They can give you an hour a day. Sometimes they can't even give you an hour a day. They got busy, demanding full-time jobs. They might have some kids that they're dealing with, and they need to get the most bang for their buck out of the smallest time possible in the gym. Give me as much fitness as I can with as little time possible in the gym and make me into just a real-life superhero. Yes, absolutely. That's what I love. That's what I'm all about. Those are my people, and we're going to keep marching long-term health and fitness forward with knees, back, and shoulders that feel good. That's what I love to do. And we're going to do it at the same time cultivating a really fun, supportive community. So that's where my heart is. That's where all my effort is. That puts a bigger smile on my face than anything else. And so that's that. And I said this on the chronic disease panel too. So you know I'm not lying. It was recorded and will come out sometime. It's really cool. It is really cool. I'm not joking. It's really cool to take somebody who has a 3-minute Fran and get them to a 2 minutes and 45 seconds Fran. That's a ton of hard work. And when you already have such a fast Fran, you're busting your tail to shave 15 seconds off a really fast Fran. That's awesome. It should be celebrated. It's really cool to get the guy in your gym that has a 475-pound deadlift, but really wants not just 4 plates on the bar, 5 plates, wants the 505, to go from a 475 dead to a 505 dead. That is also fantastic to put 30 pounds on your deadlift. Already had a monster deadlift though, but now it's 505. Great, it's fantastic. Looks phenomenal on Instagram. As cool as that stuff is, it's nowhere near as cool to me as getting somebody their first 5-minute Fran, and then hearing somebody go from a 5-minute Fran to a 4-minute Fran, and then from a 4-minute Fran to a 330. Like, that stuff's cool. Hearing somebody finally back squat body weight, deadlift body weight, and then eventually get to 1.5, or get their hell into 15 minutes, then get their hell into 12 minutes, then get their hell into 10 minutes. Like, those normal, huge, awesome, successful things that I hear from regular folks, that warms my heart. And the things that CrossFit can do for people that do have chronic disease. We've had people older individuals that lost functional capacity and were contemplating selling their home because their home had a staircase and they couldn't go to the second story of their home. And now, through doing CrossFit and intelligent scaling, can access the second floor of their home. They don't need to sell their home anymore. That's way cooler than getting a 475-pound deadlift to a 505 deadlift. Somebody that hasn't picked up their grandkid in years because they didn't have the strength now can pick up their grandkid. 100% to me cooler than taking somebody who had a 265-pound snatch and now has a 275-pound snatch. Great. That's awesome. That should be celebrated. That's hard work. That's not where my passion is. Real folks, real lives, and real folks, real lives is quite a broad spectrum of people. It's, stay-at-home mom and dads. It's people with just regular lives and busy jobs. It's people who want to be recreational athletes. You can do regular programming and throw down at your local fun competition and do just fine. You're going to be fine. It also includes people who have demanding and athletically, physically challenging jobs. Construction workers, first responders, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, military members. I'm a former, special operations guy. I don't care if you're in SEALs or Delta Force or whatnot. You can do it with one workout a day. Sorry, I know the demands of the job. You can do it with one workout a day. Sure, if you're a SEAL, you might want to hop in the pool and swim more. Sure, if you're a Ranger or in Delta, you probably want to throw a rucksack on your back and do some rucking. But point being, the general physical preparedness, we got you covered. We got you covered. So no, at this point in time, the answer is no. Not training competitive people to go towards the CrossFit Games. Love watching you men and women. Absolutely love it. But we're good. We're good with what we have going on. But an absolute blast. Fantastic to watch. If you have the opportunity to head out to the games, please do. Check out that Talking Elite Fitness episode. I think you will really, really enjoy it. And again, to the Linchpin members that I got to meet in real life and just share some laughs with, shake your hands and say hello, it was fantastic. And I don't know actually how much longer the games are in Madison, if they're there next year, or is the contract up? I don't know. But we'll have to see where they go, and we'll have to find some way to once again meet up. So that's that. Hopefully the games helped fire everybody up. Use that motivation. Get yourself into the gym. Make smart decisions. Have fun. Log your results. And we will talk again. That's it.